Hi everyone, this is Art Smalley, President of Art of Lean Incorporated, and today on behalf of the Lean Enterprise Institute, I'm going to share with you another acronym that I like to use, one that I learned 30 years ago and have always found useful. It's the concept of E, C, R, and S. Stick around, I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, today as I mentioned, I'm going to go through the acronym ECRS, which I find very useful. I learned it 30 years ago, over 30 years ago, when I started working for Toyota in Japan. And I learned it in the Toyota Old Kaizen course, which has roots in the Shigeo Shingo P courses, and of course the TWI JM or Job Methods course as well. And E stands for eliminate, C stands for combine, R stands for rearrange, and S stands for simplify. And these are very powerful thinking tools at your disposal. They are not a set of answers. You have to think and go through these various lenses and questions and say, what might I do to improve a given situation? And the starting point or the coaching point I often everybody use is these four letters, this acronym. First, let's take the eliminate angle. Okay? Look at a sequence of steps. It could be lines of code, it could be a hospital admission process, it could be machine cycle, it could be any work performed by an individual. Let's say there's 10 steps. What in those 10 steps could be eliminated, no matter how small? We're talking steps here, we're talking seconds. What can be taken out of the equation? But by eliminating waste, subtracting things, you make the overall efficiency higher and the work usually easier to do. Okay, so simple case, 10 steps, I subtract 1, 9 left over. That should be easier and better. The second letter is C for combine. Now sometimes you can't eliminate things, okay? But even if you can't eliminate stuff, sometimes you can get a 2-for-1 effect. You can combine steps 2 and 3 together, whatever it is. Lines of code, like I said, or sequences in a machine, or steps on the computer when you're entering data. How can you combine two things at once and get that 2-for-1 effect? The net effect is very similar to the previous case. You take a step out of the equation, and again, 10 minus 1 is 9, and you're better off than the first time where you started from, the original state. Now let's say hypothetically you can't combine something. Well, there's always the steps of rearrangement, okay? Rearranging. You can look at the macro flow, okay? You can look at the whole value stream. You can look at the layout of the area, okay? You can look at the micro rearrangement concept of the work and the motion, the elements and things like that, and say, how do I optimize rearranging the little things so that the net result of the work is, easier, better, faster, so to speak. And you'll get an improvement as well. Lastly, even if you can't wrap your head around E, C, and R somehow, or you don't see any obvious angles there, you still have the S angle, the simplification. And there's always some part of every job that's difficult, harder for some people than others. It takes longer. It's more likely to produce failure or end results or have bugs within it. Harder for new people to learn. And a key point in Kaizen and improvement is to find those hard points, those difficult points, those tricky points, and say, why is that? And how do you simplify it so that anybody can do it safely and right the first time? So in total, these four concepts, E, C, R, and S, you can do a whole lot just with those four. Of course, the Toyota production system and lean thinking goes far beyond that, but this is one of the fountainhead, one of the key points that we unfortunately don't quote or say much anymore, and I think that's a waste, and why I wanted to cover it in this video. So for now, just commit that to memory, E, C, R, and S. What can you eliminate, combine, rearrange, and simplify for any situation? And in subsequent videos, I'm going to go into each one of them in further detail. Some of the key points in the elimination phase, key points in the combination phase, key point in the rearrangement phase, and key points in the simplification phase. And I think you'll find them useful. So stick around and good luck. Thanks.